Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Saint-Jean-d'Angely. It's round 3 of the EMX 250 European Championship. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for joining us live on MXGP TV today for our second race of the day. Race 1 was the EMX 125 Championship presented by FMF Racing. We've since had MX2 and MXGP time training. And now, though, the 250 European Championship riders are getting ready to go at it here for 25 minutes plus 2 laps. And it's gone a little bit cloudy over the last hour or so. The wind is picking up. It's looking a little bit moody, but hopefully the weather will stay kind to us. But you just never know with this game, do you? It can move in. We're not far from the coast. That's where we are, sort of western France, about an hour and a half north of Bordeaux. 4.5 hours south of Paris, something like that. Track's just had a little bit of water thrown down on it as well, because it's starting to get a little bit dry after the MX2 and MXGP riders, but we've obviously got their qualifying races coming up in a little while, so hopefully things won't be too bad in terms of slick for the 250 riders. But they've just had their sighting lap, and let's take a look at how they stand. Mr. Maximum on top at the moment, Alberto Forato. He's on 100 points. He's won every single race of the 2 rounds he's been to in Great Britain and Italy. He has 20 points over Stephen Rubini. Now, Rubini on the Honda Red Motor Asa Motor machine is riding a little bit battered and bruised. He injured his ankle last week while karting in Portugal, and then he crashed on the final downhill before the finish. So coming out of turn 3 in practice this morning, he has qualified. And but I'm not sure how fantastic he's going to be feeling. He was second in time practice, so he's obviously made of tough stuff, but he went down pretty big. Anyway, the riders took off for their sighting lap a little earlier on. Pierre Goupillon is third in the championship. Roan Van De Moosdijk, who had a fantastic ride in MX2 a week ago, he is 4th in points, just 4 behind Pierre Goupillon. And René Hoffer, he's also been in the wars. Recently he rode at Mantova as an MX2 wildcard, just kind of tweaked his knee. There he is, the 711, and he'll be 5th in the championship. But here's how the riders go to the line for race 1 and 2 tomorrow. Alberto Forato was quickest in Group 1 with a time of 1:49.2, half a second quicker than Kevin Horgma on the Kramer Racing KTM in Group 2. Ruben Fernandez goes to line 3rd, and then Rubini 4th, second in Group 2, of course. Then Giuseppe Trepepi, Jimmy Clochet, Thibaut Beneston, René Hoffer, Roan Van De Moosdijk, Carlos Sablis, and the rest of the guys there. Good to see Josh Gilbert putting in a good time, 7th in his Group 1 on the Bill Base Honda. And I was talking to his old man, Andy Gilbert, actually, earlier the weekend, yesterday afternoon, and he was saying that, you know, really pleased with how that team setup is, you know, is fitting him, how it suits him, and just feels that he has to be here just to up his game a little bit more. So hopefully, the number 3, Josh Gilbert, who's 10th in the championship at the moment, 8th overall in his home round, Matterley Basin, 13th in Trentino, to see what he can do here. He's had a best result of 9. Well, he's at 9, 10, a 0, and 11, actually. There is Rubini. Home round for him, 2nd in the championship. He'll be trying his best to close down those 20 points on Alberto Forato, but guess what? So will everybody else be trying to do the same. There's René Hoffer, the KTM Junior Racing teamster. Saw him this morning as I arrived at the circuit. Feels good. He's been having a load of treatment on his knee just to try and get himself sorted for this this round here. We've got a green flag at the back. Thank you, Lucas. We've got a green flag at the front here as well. The fly racing 15-second board then up for the 2nd time today here at Saint-Jean-d'Angely, the first for the EMX 250 riders. It's race 1, 25 minutes plus 2 laps around this hillside circuit just north of Bordeaux on the west coast of France. A long start straight, about 100 meters to that first turn. Forato over on the left-hand side, but it won't be him that pulls the whole shot. He's going to try and hit the brakes and hope that everybody flies right by. That's exactly what they do, but Forato over on the right-hand side will emerge in about 15th place as he rounds out the first turn. Instead, it is the 8-10 who is leading the way there of Jan Trzynski, the French rider on his KTM, as the rest of the guys drop downhill. 2nd is Rubini. 3rd is the 520 of Clochet on the Kawasaki. Just behind him on the Yamaha. We'll soon find out as he hits the line this time around. But in 4th place is Paolo Lugana, then Josh Gilbert getting a 5th place start. Roan Van De Moosdijk 6th, Lorenzo Corti 7, Thibaut Beneston 8, Simeo Ubach, Ruben Fernandez is 10, Giuseppe Tropepi is 11. There's Thibaut Beneston on that blue machine with the red numbers on his back, riding for Yamaha MJC. But back with the leaders here, bottom of the hill. It is still Gudransky who leads the way. There is Gilbert. Just behind him, he's got Roan Van De Moosdijk on the Kawasaki, looking to go around the outside and inside at the bottom of the hill any moment now. No, the rider in red just managing to keep him at bay, but Rubini leads. So Rubini finds his way past Jan Gudransky. And Clochet looking to follow through as well. Downhill on that Kawasaki, the number 520. He does close the door. 3 Frenchmen then leading the way here. Lugana is 4th from Italy, then the Brit from the southwest. Josh Gilbert, he'll jump into view now. There he is, number 3 on the Bill-based Honda. Roan Van De Moosdijk for F&H Racing just behind him, the second of the Kawasaki's. Inside the top 10, here he is, closest to us in the white helmet there, number 39. Track would have changed a little bit since these guys went out for free and time practice earlier today. But Rubini, riding injured, battered and bruised, knows how important it is. Where is Forato? Well, he was 16th at the first split over the line. He's now got himself up to 14th. What will he be when he hits the line at the end of this first lap in 2 corners' time? Josh Gilbert down the inside of Lugana at the top of the hill there, number 3 on the Honda. So good to see a nice aggressive move on the early lap here. Wants to get to the front. Jan Gudransky just ahead of him in black, but over the line for the first time. Rubini it is who leads. Jimmy Clochet on the Kawasaki is 2nd. Then Jan Gudransky 3rd. The red Honda just on the jump now is Josh Gilbert 4th. Yamaha behind him is 5th. Then the green machine, Roan Van De Moosdijk, is in 6th place, just ahead of Thibaut Beneston. Looking over on the right-hand side, Ruben Fernandez is 8, Giuseppe Tropepi is 9, 10 is Lorenzo Corti, Forato is 11, Kevin Cristino is 12, Ubach is 13. Then Elzinger, Dankers, Hoffer, Puccinelli, Horgmo, Sabalis and Gifting. Rothfuss just outside of the points at the moment in 21st place. 22nd place. Man down. Here's Forato. Short on the tabletop at the top of the hill. Utilising that bank, open up the track and the corner speed through the bottom here. Here's Thibaut Beneston taking the single to the inside, looking to go after Ruben Fernandez. So 2 and F&H Kawasaki riders up there. 50th Lugana looking to go down the inside of number 3 Gilbert. His runs a little bit longer, but Lugana getting caught and passed by Roan Van De Moosdijk. So the Dutchman forces his way past the number 50 Lugana on his Yam. And almost finds a way by Gilbert at the top of the hill, turn 2. I was stood up here during the MXGP time practice session. The rocks so loose and so dry. How much confidence is Roan Van De Moosdijk going to be running on at the moment? Fernandez also going through on Lugana. So, end of the second lap then. We've got Rubini leads by almost 2 seconds. Fastest man on track at the moment. Jimmy Clochet is in 2nd. 3rd is Krasinski. 4th, Gilbert. 5th, Van De Moosdijk. 6th, top of the hill, Fernandez. Then the guy in the yellow top. And we've had Kevin Horgmo and the 110 of Puccinelli getting into each other's company. Coming out of the penultimate corner. Thibaut Beneston, last year's 125 European champ. On the Monster Energy jump now, he's got the championship leader behind him. The 101 of Alberto, 303 of Alberto Forato. Beneston going after the 50 of Lugana at the bottom of the hill. Such a tidy style. that Thibaut Beniston has, number 98, second rider in that shot. Not getting over the double, though, coming out of that turn. You see Forato closing in on the young French kid in the process. Here is your race leader. Honda Red Motor Motors Frenchman, number 118, Stephen Rubini. But he's got Jimmy Clochet closing in. That's not 1.7 seconds anymore. So Clochet on the Bud Racing Kawasaki fancies his chances here. Rubini was in a cast after Saturday last week, just to take no precautions. But no cast today. That injured ankle and battered body from his crash this morning. Jansky just hanging on, but Gilbert looking for a way through, denied though. So the 810 of Jansky still upholding French honor at the moment. 3 Frenches in the first 3 here in the early stages of EMX 250 race 1, but going to the inside, Gilbert went a bit too defensive, and Van De Moosdijk went the outside, seeing the faster option, and Fernandez ran the outside of Roan Van De Moosdijk and looking to split the 2 guys ahead of him. Finds his way neatly past Van De Moosdijk. Oh, no, they both go down. Fernandez can't pick up his Yamaha. It's on top of the Kawasaki of Roan Van De Moosdijk. All of a sudden, they go from 5th and 6th. I think you have to maybe apportion the blame slightly there to Van De Moosdijk. Try to get back up the inside, and if we watch a replay, if my memory serves me right, jump clean into the side of Fernandez, and we'll have to see it again. I might be wrong, but let's have a look. Oh, he was ahead, but he took away. Look, he had the leg of Fernandez. Nice to see it from the other angle, actually, as well, going up the hill, because Fernandez had made the pass. And then all of a sudden, Moosdijk, top of the hill. Somehow the 2 connected, but this is Gilbert. He gets the door closed in his face. Jan Krajewski maybe just holding him up now, and he doubles his way in nicely and makes the pass into 3rd, Josh Gilbert. So the Bill-based Honda. Lead rider in this shot, now 3rd, but he was already about 6 or 7 seconds down on the race leader a lap ago. And Jimmy Clochet is now the fastest rider on track by about 1/10 of a second over Rubini that time around. Gilbert here now in 3rd, Jansky in 4th. 5th is now Forato, helped massively by the fact that 2 guys ahead of him just took themselves out. And championship, one of those is a championship contender, and maybe even the other one as well, Fernandez. So where are they? They were down for a while trying to pull apart the 2 pieces of metal. Van De Moosdijk has gone through in 19th place. Fernandez still yet to come through. He's in 29th. So out of the points for the Spaniard and just inside the points for Roan Van De Moosdijk. Meanwhile, Rubini leads. He's got 8.7 seconds over the rider leading this trio here. Josh Gilbert, number 3 on the Honda. Then Krajewski, and then Forato there in white. The Maddie Racing Husqvarna, the championship leader. Is this going to be the first race of the year that he loses? He's won 4 on the bounce at the moment. He's got a maximum score of 100 points. 25 for a win, 22 for second, 20, and he's looking to dive down the inside of the Frenchman. Oh, wrestles it around, and I tell you what, he's a big lad. And what has he lost there? Skid plate off the bottom of the frame, maybe. Just he came out of that turn, he clobbered the rut. Watch this. Yeah, he's ripped the skid plate off the bottom. Oh, his seat. He's lost his seat. So Forato then, riding seatless, going to be sat lower into the bike, the metal frame. It's like being on a training school back in the day with Team Green. Don't stand up, we'll take the seat off. But the other thing there is you've got stones and dirt going in over the top of the air filter there. Okay, the filter will do its job, but it doesn't help when you've got no seat. The bike will sound a little bit louder as well, which will be a little bit off-putting. Yeah, nervous look over the shoulder. Beniston on the charge. Yeah, can't get into the corners. Forato is going to have to muscle this one out. Oh, and Krzyzewski goes down. So all of a sudden another gift, and Gilbert as well. So Gilbert, did he go down on his own on the exit of the turn, or did he get a bit of help at the top of the hill from Krzyzewski? All of a sudden Forato riding without a seat. Watch this, top of the hill. Oh, Gilbert on his own, lost the front, the back came around. And then Krzyzewski maybe just off put by that, thinking, yeah, there's third again. He stumbled as well, so 2 more passes for Forato. 4 of those have come in the space of 2 laps because 2 guys have been down on 2 occasions. The first was Roan Van De Moosdijk and Ruben Fernandez. And then Josh Gilbert and Jan Krzyzewski. So Gilbert picks himself up in 5th place then. Here's Rubini doing a good job of trying to keep that gap to the 520 on the Bud Racing Kawasaki of Jimmy Clochet to a reasonable distance. This is where he fell in the practice session this morning. Down that hill, high speed, bike was destroyed. Talk about making it tough for yourself. Already got a damaged ankle anyway, fractured or broken or cracked or whatever, but someone's getting worked up there. Blue Diamond stood at the side of the track there, probably because Beniston is closing in here on Forato in that 4th place. So the Yamaha Europe MJC rider goes to the outside, looks to get the drive on Forato. Another nervous look again from the big Italian. These 2 are, 14 and 15 seconds down on the race leader. The top 2 separated by 1.6 at the head of the field, but already out of sight. 13 seconds up the track, 14 seconds up the track from these guys. Not a comfortable ride for Forato. Josh Gilbert back in 5th then. Only 4 seconds off of these guys. We'll see him in a minute as we go back uphill. You'll see him drop into view any moment now, probably. Just. So he'll do well to try and bridge this gap here, because Forato is not going to be riding like his usual self. Might just be holding Beniston up a little bit, but doing anything he can to preserve his championship lead by as many points as possible. See, Beniston just... You know what, he's definitely grown over the winter as well, hasn't he? He looks almost Filament-esque, actually. Tall and sort of menacing on that Yamaha, but a smooth, fluid riding style. Ducks his head. You can hear the fans over to their left, our right, as they charge down the start straight. Beniston senses there's an opportunity to get himself into 3rd. Keeps it a little bit lower at the top of the hill. Elzinger is in 6th place. So Rick Elzinger, who was an MJC rider in the 125 category last year, is now SDM Corsi Yamaha. And he is in 6th place. Kevin Cristino finds himself in 7th place. Number 34 on the Maggiore Park Racing Team KTM. Then we've got Krzyzewski in 8th. Carlos Sabalis is in 9th place for WZ Racing KTM as Beniston goes to the inside this time. And then Simeo Ubac is next. The Spaniard on his KTM. Oh, a little bit short there for Beniston as he came into land. Mistimed the takeoff, bounced on the second one, bounced past the landing area where he needed to be originally. 12th place, 11th place is Andrea Adamo. And the number 80, Andrea Adamo, getting in also on the Yamaha Assam Action MC Miliori Yamaha. Isaac Gifton is 12, Dankers 13, Bastien Baudin, the Dane, is 14, René Hoffer is 15, Caleb Grothus, Mahi Villanueva, Roan Van De Moosdijk 18, Lugana 19, Cyril Janot 20. Still, Beniston cannot find a way to break down the defences of Forato. Again, he looks to go to the inside. He might just close the door. He does. I tell you what, he had to be so aggressive there as well. Forato, of course, riding by the seat of his pants, frameless, seatless. He could have so easily got run over to the left here, but he commanded the line. He didn't flinch. Great move that from Beneston. And the Frenchman here, number 98 now, up to third place. And Gilbert closing back in as well. So the little tip over that he had a couple of laps ago whilst he was in third, maybe just asking too much power at the back wheel, the front got away from him. He now finds himself back on the rear wheel of the championship leader, just ahead of him here in white. So Beneston's time, second fastest that time around. Rubini a 1:54.7, a 54.3 for Jimmy Clochet. That gap now coming down by another couple of tenths. Good ride this from Gilbert. Nice view of the A10. Takes you north to south. Bordeaux to the left, Paris to the right, to the north. Here is Clochet. Here is Rubini at the top of the hill. So the Honda Red Motor Asamoah rider leading the Bud Racing Kawasaki. Two Frenchmen. And with Forato in fourth place at the moment and Rubini leading the way, that gap will come down to 13 points. It was 20. So 25 for a win, 22 for second, 20 for third. So the difference between first and third is 5. 2 more, because with fourth position you get 18 points. Clochet getting his claws back in again to his fellow countryman. As it stands right now, you would have to surmise that race 1 is going to go to a Frenchman. It's just a matter of which one by the time the flag falls here in about 7 minutes plus 2 laps time. The gap now 1.3, so he's chipping away at that lead. A tenth here and a couple tenths there is Jimmy Clochet. Beneston sets the fastest lap of the race that time around by a considerable margin as well. 1:54 for the two leaders, a 52.6 for Thibaut Beneston. Fortunately for him, the gap is still around about 14 seconds to the man in green here, the 5:20 of Clochet, who made a mistake there just a moment ago. Gives a little bit of more breathing space to the 1:18 here on that Honda. Your race leader, Rubini. Gilbert 2 seconds behind Forato in 5th place. Elzinger about 5 seconds further back. There is Gilbert. So Gilbert, here he is, number 3 on the Honda. There's Forato, the 303 on the Husky, and there is Beneston, number 98. So he's in 3rd position, just setting the fastest lap. Looks a lot smoother now. He's got clear track ahead of him, doesn't he? Difficult to see ahead, because the guys are already ahead of him here. He can't see around the corner there. By the time he gets onto the start straight, he can't see anything there either, because they're already around the first corner. And then when he's at the top of the hills, unless you're above the 2-meter ad boards that line the track, it's difficult to really pick out your man unless you're airborne and can see to the bottom end of the corner. But he's looking good at the moment. Fastest on the first split, about a tenth slower than the race leader on the second split. But those two over the line now, 1.99 the gap between Rubini and Clochet. It was a 52.6 for Beneston last time around. What's it going to be any time now? Because he's about to hit the finish line. 14 seconds a gap, so a 53.2. Again, quicker than the two guys ahead of him, but not by much this time around. Where are the two guys that fell early on? The number 70 of Ruben Fernandez has fallen again. He was 23rd. He's down to 37, according to our split times. The number 39, Roan Van De Moosdijk, for F&H Kawasaki, is in 15th, but he's got 3-4 guys within reach up to 11th, so he could get himself back into the top 10. But when you've gone down on the deck and you've gone just inside the points, and you are only about 17 behind the guy who's leading the race at the moment, it's not what you wanted. And obviously riding with a lot of confidence after his result in Portugal a week ago in MX2, 6th overall that day. Picked up a foxhole shot as well in race 2. Right, here's Alberto Forato. Steeper than it looks, this descent. You're thankful that those berms are there. So just looking at our thing, Isaac Gifton was 11. The guy on the left, tricky little corner this. Won't be the first or the last to get caught out. So Gifting from Sweden on the KTM loses 3 or 4 positions that time around. Forato looks like he's finally bedded into that Maddie Racing Husqvarna. Benetton 13 seconds down. His time just slowing ever so slightly. Looking smooth though. That's that corner where Gifting just fell a moment ago. Rider here. Oh, okay, Fernandez. Electric start on that. There we go, gets going again. Still showing us in 22nd then, so maybe just a transponder issue with him at the moment. Here's Benetton. He set the fastest lap on 1:52.630 2 laps ago, as he signaled his intent to maybe close down on these guys. The 1:18 of Rubini and the guy behind him. 2.5 seconds back now, actually, Jimmy Clochet. Rubini yet to win a race in this category this year. Was an MX2 rider last year. Looking good at the moment though, despite his injuries. Three and a half seconds now his gap back to Jimmy Clochet. Nice smooth descent. Tight inside rut. Wayward on the exit, but weather being a little bit interchangeable here. Clouds, then sunshine. Wind picking up around here as well. Just has a stormy feel about it. Right, here's Roan Van De Moosdijk. He is now up into 12th place. About to hit the line now, just behind Jan Krasinski and Simeo Ubak. So, again, he is only 7 seconds behind Kevin Cristino, who's in 8th place for Maggiora Park, KTM. But it's going to be, actually, is it going to be 3 laps to go? Or the leaders who are already 47, 48 seconds further up the track, are they going to hit the line before the 2-lap board goes out? Probably not, actually. 12 seconds to go. Yeah, not even through sector 3, so it will be 2 laps to go next time around. So Van De Moosdijk still got some work to do as he closes in on Ubak just ahead of him. He's got Caleb Grothus all over him as well there, look. Number 60, the Australian on the SDM Corsa Yamaha. Looking good. Qualified the last round, actually, Grothus. which is a shame because he was 12th at the first round at Matterley Basin, Great Britain. 2 lap board has gone out. Just needs to maintain his composure now, doesn't he? Because he's more than 4.5 seconds, well, almost 4.5 seconds clear. Forato has weathered that storm for Matty Racing Husky. Comes into land now. He takes the 2-lap board. Gilbert lost about a tenth to him, so that gap's at about 5 seconds. Back to the Brit, the Cornishman. Oh, slight bobble there for Forato. Cost him a little bit of time, but not enough for Gilbert to make any inroads. '26 Tim Edberg for JWR Yamaha, about to get lapped here by the 98 of Thibaut Beneston. He's in 3rd place for Yamaha MJC. There he is. Anyway, here's Beneston, top of the hill. Looking a little bit top-kelly this weekend, but he won't mind about that for now. 3rd in points at the moment in the race. 1 lap board goes out to this guy here, though. So it's still 3 riders from France in the top 3 positions, led out by Stephen Rubini. Jimmy Clochet is next. Almost 5 seconds clear now. And actually, last time we went racing with these guys back in Trentino, where Rubini, who's twice followed Forato over the line, 2-second overalls, said he knows if he makes a good start, then he can challenge for wins. He's so far been 3rd and 5th and 2 seconds last time out in Trentino. And that's exactly what he's done. He's come away with a good start, and he's led every single lap. There's Beneston just running out of time. Clochet at the top of the hill in 2nd. Here's Rubini, your race leader, the 118, on the verge of picking up his 1st win of the season. Alessandro Minucci about to get lapped here on his Husky from Italy. We already had a French winner in race 1 in the 125 class. Turned out to be a good day for the French here at Saint-Jean-d'Angély, day 1. Because Rubini is going to win the 250 race here. And it's going to be a first victory for, there's Gordon Crockard there, just giving him a big round of applause as he comes out the final turn. And Rubini, that's a massive win for him as well, because he has done that against all the odds. So Rubini crossed the line first, Clochet 2nd, Beneston 3rd. Here's Forato. He's going to cross the line in 4th place. And then in 5th place, Josh Gilbert at the top of the hill, just a couple seconds behind. 6 for Elvzinger, 7 Carlos Sabalis, and see what it means to Stephen Rubini. He'll grab a quick word, and obviously Francis Mananu, he's sitting there winding up the French crowd. A French 1, 2, 3. They love it. Good day to be French so far. Krzyzewski. He led actually briefly, didn't he? There's Roan Van De Moosdijk, Caleb Grothhus. Those two were 12th and 13th. Ryvo Dankers coming home, number 10 in 14th for Houghton Metals Yamaha. Give you the rundown in just a moment. But a nice, proud moment for Stephen Rubini. We'll grab a quick word with him as soon as we can. Can't be too long because 2 minutes at the end of this broadcast and we're straight into MX2 qualifying. So our man down there doing his best to hijack our programming if he's not careful. Right, finally, they let him go. There's Kevin Horgmo. Didn't score in the points, 22nd. So Rubini wins it. Clochet second, Beniston third, Forato, Gilbert, your top 5. Lisa Leyland is almost ready. Rick Elzinga was 6. Leyland getting ready to speak to our winner, Stephen Rubini, for the first time this year. More importantly, he's closed down the gap to 13 points to Alberto Forato, who finished in 4th, the championship leader. Just got to go back behind the skybox. Here he is. Alfredo Bevilacqua there as well. Right, here he is.
Stephen Rubini, congratulations. First race win in the EMX 250s on home soil, despite feeling a little bit second-hand today.
Yeah, I take a really good start, and then that was really good for the race because the track was a little bit wet. So I'm really happy about my start, and fuck, it's so amazing to win at home. It's just the first race, but it's already good. I have a little injury on my ankle, so it's a little bit painful, but I'm really happy.
Good luck for tomorrow's race.
And apologies for the expletives there. And there might be 1 or 2 more here if we're not careful, so get those mics turned down ASAP. But it was a win for the 118 of Stephen Rubini and Team Honda Red Motor Assa Motor. Of course, they are the defending champions because it was Matthijs Borromée who won last year. He's now up in MX2. So they sit second in the championship still, but that gap has come down thanks to the race win there from the 118 of Rubini. Official confirmation then coming up. It was a win for Rubini. Jimmy Clochet was second. Third, Thibaut Beniston. Fourth, the championship leader, Alberto Forato. Josh Gilbert, great ride for him in 5th. Rick Elzinga, 6th. Carlos Sabalis and Andrea Adamo. Fantastic ride for the former CRF 150 champ. 9th for Kevin Cristino, and then we had Krzyzewski, Ubach, Van De Moosdijk, Grothhus, Dankers, Gifting, Hoffer, Janot, Lapucci, Fernandez, and Mahi Villanueva. There's Thibaut Beniston. 3rd in race 1. Let's check out the highlights and see how he made his way to 3rd, shall we? Yeah, we have all day. Gate drop, Forato over on the left-hand side. Didn't get the jump that he wanted. Came from the middle, Jan Krzyzewski. Roan Van De Moosdijk was in there, but holding a nice tight line through 3rd, and then 2nd at the top of the hill was the 118 of Rubini. Behind him was Clochet, the 50 of Lugana. Gilbert was in there as well in about 6th, 7th position as they dropped downhill for the first time. Battle for the lead, though, changed halfway around the first lap. Rubini passing Krzyzewski. Clochet followed quickly through into 2nd by the time they reached the next downhill. 3 French riders inside the top 3. Roan Van De Moosdijk sided his way up the inside of Paolo Lugana as he went after Josh Gilbert. So this was 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Gilbert got himself into 3rd eventually, but not before Van De Moosdijk and Fernandez crashed out of 5th and 6th. Eventually, the 3 of Gilbert found his way through on his Bill-based Honda. That put him into 3rd. Forato was challenging for 4th. He lost his seat as he got cross-rutted. And then he started to come under pressure. Gilbert fell, so too did Brzezinski. All of a sudden, Forato was in third with Beneston in fourth, but the Frenchman just closed the door on the Italian and nicked that third position, who was struggling riding around with no seat. Jimmy Clochet was in second and closing in on Rubini for the lead. But eventually he was able to open up that gap as Roan Van De Moosdijk was back in the game and working his way through the field, but this time with Caleb Grotius behind him. Those two came home in 12th and 13th. Beneston for Yamaha Europe MJC had to be content with third. Second was Jimmy Clochet for Bud Racing Kawasaki, but it was Stephen Rubini for Honda Red Motor Asamoto who won race one. So the local time here now is 4:41. We will be back on air for MX2 qualifying 4:45. So sit back, enjoy some of the best moments from that EMX 250 race. We're back in a moment.